Peace, peace. Back once again with Dr. Alim Bey. Special guest for the night. You know, no other is Crumb Snatcher slash the master student is in the building. He's going to be building on the gingers of black. And so what we got for you tonight, he's going to get into through a presentation. So we're going to let the room fill up a little bit and then we're going to get started. All right, we're going to get started. Thank you. Peace, peace. All right, they're coming in, they're coming in.
Good doctor. While we wait for people to come in, do you mind if we talk?
Yeah, that's fine.
Do, do you mind if we talk about your new book?
Yeah, no doubt. Planetary Genesis, Stargate DNA, and the extraterrestrial origin of humanity. Yes.
Do you have one in here?
Put in there. Yeah.
And
In your bag?
just to make sure I'm on the same page as you, if I want to get a copy of your new book, I would have to go to your website, dralimelbey.com. I just want to make sure that's still all correct.
Yes, that is definitely it.
I I have to admit it's a fan favorite of mine. Um, I don't think it is. I don't think it's a negotiable, family. You're gonna have to get the book. You, you gotta tap in. It's just one of those things. It was an automatic classic upon publication. Is so far aging very well, and I expect nothing less as we go into the future. The chapters unfold into reality. The good doctor has literally broken the code with the book, family. Um, Seriously, you have to tap in. And I have to be honest, I am a little bit biased. Um, there's stuff about the reptilians in there, and I'm just a fan favorite of that type of stuff anyway. So shout out to the doctor for that. I love, love, love his new work. Check it out, please. Don't take my word for it.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that, brother Crumb. No doubt. All right. I think we got people in the room now, so you can definitely begin the presentation. Let's see what you rocking with tonight.
Yes, thank you so much, Doctor. I want to start out by giving you high honors and perfect praise. This is I family am your humble brother Crumb. I do go by the moniker the Master Student, and just to want to make sure we put everything in proper perspective. This is the Master Teacher. So let's put some respect on everybody's name. Shout out to the whole family. And just really quickly, family, before I just jump headfirst into this, could we get a roll call? I was talking to somebody, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm in Henderson." Like, you're in Henderson? Like, are you talking about Henderson? Like, yeah, I'm down the street. Could we get a roll call? City, state, zip code, coast, island, country, planet. I just want to know who is who. So, shout out to my good brother Ramesu out there in with the Washita. I see you. I love you. I appreciate you. So yeah, with that said, this is about quote unquote black people, but we call ourselves, we don't, we're identified as Moors. Put some respect on the name, family. And the Moorish legacy is not only in Europe, it's here in America as well. But I do want to tell the story of Europe just a little bit. If we're going to tell the story, we got to tell the whole story. So the story of so-called black people in Europe, or Moors in Europe, goes beyond the whole 7-Eleven situation. But that was a part of it. So ultimately, it's going to start most notably with the Jacobites. Now, redheads are depicted as bad in media because of the Jacobite Rising. And the Jacobite Rising, the Jacobites were a secret ginger army created by the black nobility of Europe called the Stuart dynasty or the Stuart family or whatever you want to call them. There were more, but the Stuart is probably one of the most notable. But anyway, the Jacobite Rising of 1745 was an attempt by Charles Stuart to regain the British throne from his dad, James Stuart. It took place when the bulk of the British army was fighting in the mainland of Europe and proved to be the last of a series of revolts that began in March 1689 with the major outbreak in 1717. They fought for more than 100 years. No, I'm sorry. 1689, that's 10 years. I'm sorry. They fought more than 2 decades. Please forgive me. It's about 20 years worth of fighting non-stop. So these aren't some ragtag army. They kind of fought one day and got knocked out. They fought for 20 years straight. So it wasn't just some light work. This was a real deal army. This was the last hoorah of the Moors. The Jacobite allegiance to the Stuart family was a complex interplay of factors, including loyalty to the dynastic line. These are the original rulers of Europe. White people were mad at the Gingers because they turned their back on white people and aligned with black people. That was the major problem. The adherence to the concept of divine right, religious preferences. Remember, these were the ones who brought religion. These were the ones that were considered to be the bloodline of the gods. They ruled by divinity. And opposition to the ruling government policies. The new government that came in was trash water, trash juice, particularly in Scotland. It wasn't a good thing. And they had to once the Moors were about to be officially kicked out of Europe, that's when they brought their secret army, the Gingers. This group's name, the Jacobites, is perplexing, as Jacob is the modern term for Yaqub. There are 2 famous Yaqubs. There's a lot of different Yaqubs, a bunch of creator gods or whatnot, but there are 2 particularly famous Yaqubs whose stories bear an uncanny resemblance, folks. The first Yaqub is in the Bible. He's an evil trickster. Remember, well, the name Yaqub or Jacob means trickster. Go back and read the Bible. God used the language to confound the people. Go back and read the book of the story of the Tower of Babel. To babble was to talk like a baby. God, he told you in the New Testament, I'm not the God of confusion, but in the Old Testament, he used confusion. He was the God of confusion with the confounding the language. Anyway, the first Yaqub is in the Bible. He's an evil trickster who later gets renamed Israel. He's using the words to confound the people. And he creates 12 tribes. The second is an evil trickster who creates white people, otherwise known as the 13th tribe. Now, the 13th tribe is a book that is referring to a particular type of white person called a Yehudi, or maybe a Juicy. I don't want to say any names to trigger the algorithm, but let me breathe for a second. Doc, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, the Jacob or the Yaqub, in which that I found was within ancient Egypt during the 1415 dynastic period, and his name was Yaqub Ker, and I guess you can say that he took on the modifications in which that was made by the Anunnakians, and he continued with that modification process, in which that, of course, becomes what we now know as the white people or the Tamahu. Um, and of course, as you said, they was the first juicies. That's why they believed themselves to be the chosen people. Okay, but truthfully, they are from the line or the loin biblically is that of Japheth, who was the third son or one of the sons of Noah, in which that was a Gentile. They went into the Isles of the Gentiles. So really, they are the Gentiles, and the chosen people are those who are from the line of Shem. And Shem, um, based on my data, has E1B1A. That is the haplogroup in which that is from the loins of Shem. From the loins of Ham is the haplogroup E1B1B, in which that we get later on some of the Edomites. The Edomites, in which that, of course, is part of that same bloodline. And I think you did an excellent job when you broke down about Akhenaten also being one of the modifiers, within this particular line of pharaohs from out of ancient Kemet. Mm-hmm.
And to the listening audience, this is why he's my master teacher. And just to clarify for the 13th tribe situation, there was a book or is a book called The 13th Tribe by Arthur Colster. It's called, actually, within full title, The Khazar Empire and Its Heritage. Is the 13th Tribe, the Khazar Empire and Its Heritage. So for anybody who wants to go check that out, it'll really open your eyes, as into detail, more than a 1 to 2 hour video could. But yeah, thank you, Doc. So the Jacobites were a group of gingers created to fight. This is where the Fighting Irish moniker comes from. They were created by black nobility of Europe, called Moors, who descended from the bloodline of Scotia, the daughter of Akhenaten. Scotia was a big head ginger. This is 3,500. This is a 300. I'm sorry. I need to put A. This. Oh, no. Okay, the is correct. This is the 3,500-year-old mummy of Queen Hatshepsut, Egypt's most powerful female pharaoh. And of course, you can see she's donning a smile. She wears a smile even in her afterlife. Moreover, notice that her hair never went gray or silver, and she remains a crimson red ginger to this day. To this day. She is the great grandmother of Scotia. This is where the ginger line is coming from. All of family, you have to understand, no one has a more diverse genetic makeup than the original people, respectfully.
And that haplogroup for them is R1B. That's their haplogroup, is R1B. Mm-hmm.
You better teach, Doc. This is Queen Ty, the grandmother. Now, the first one is the great grandmother. This is the grandmother of Queen Scotia. Notice her hair, which apparently never went gray or silver, but is crimson red to this very day. This is the bloodline. This is Scotia's dad. His name is Pharaoh Akhenaten. Of course, you don't see any hair. It's just a statue or whatever. We never found his body. But one of his most distinguishing features is going to be his bulbous head. So just kind of give you an idea. They have red hair and they have these big bulbous heads. Now, one of the authors that I learned about from Brother Panic, from
J.
Bobby Hemming, and of course my teacher, Dr. Alim El-Bey. They talk about this one particular teacher a lot. J.A. Rogers, Nature Knows No Color Lines. Is that a good source, Doc?
Yeah,
How do you
excellent
feel about him?
source. Excellent source. He's one of the greatest historians. They want to refer to him as an amateur because he did not have a doctorate. However, he outdid majority of the historians during his day and majority of the historians even today.
I'm going to have to vehemently agree with that. So this is from his book Nature Knows No Color Lines, J.A. Rogers. It reads, the Scottish people trace their descent from Scoda, daughter of an Egyptian pharaoh whose people settled first in Spain and then in Ireland. So this is coming from our master teachers in addition to the scholarly work or whatever. So anyway, I showed you Akhenaten when we saw his bulbous head. A lot of people may not know Akhenaten, no problem at all. But Queen Nefertiti, outside of Queen Cleopatra, may be one of the most notable royalty figures in not only Egypt but all of the world. Is that fair, or am I reaching?
No, that's right. Correct, because they have taken a image in which that they claim is Nefertiti, in which that is a Tamahu, and they have made her the epitome of beauty for the 18th dynastic period, even to this very day. When actually this is a more resemblance, this is an actual statue of Queen Nefertiti.
And you may be thinking, listening audience, how come if we've seen so many pictures of her, we missed this her head? Because a lot of times you're going to notice where they wore what was called a crown. And this particular crown, I don't know if this is the North or the South or Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt, but oftentimes it was a cloth crown. They would just drape a cloth over their heads and call that a crown. And because they did that, we just never noticed or maybe looked to the back of it, whatever the case may be. But obviously I showed you this one because it's a side portrait, which is important to see the length of her skull. But ultimately, Queen Scotia, this is, you saw her daddy, you saw her grandmama, his mama, and you saw their great 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 whatever grandmama. This is Queen Scotia's mama. So you kind of get an idea that, hey, these guys have big heads and red hair, and they're of a royal bloodline. So
And they
finally,
descended
here's
from out of, and they descended from out of Chad in Africa, from out of Chad, with the haplogroup, like I said, R1b.
now.
Mhm.
Chad is below Egypt.
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes, right below Egypt and right on the side of Sudan.
And it is said that they came down the Nile, but the
Right.
Nile flows up. So
Oh,
they came from the Chad area
right.
up. Now they're going to say that, or they came down the Nile, but they
Right.
came up. But tomato, tomato.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So Scotia, she's a ginger. She's a big head scientist like her daddy. And we can see this picture. So in this picture, she's wearing a cloth crown. But we can see with the length, her skull's elongated. It's not a regular, not like my skull or nothing like that. And we can see where, the pigment is, it looks a little bit copper, Indian red type of situation, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, Scotia is a ginger big head scientist who leaves Egypt during the story of Exodus. But instead of going east with the rest of her family, she goes to Spain or west. Uh, Talking to Skynet, yeah, Ireland was originally known as Scotia. I'm not talking about Scotland. I'm talking about Ireland. Ireland's original name was Scotia, derived from the Latin term for the Gaels or Scoti. The name's meaning gradually shifted during the ninth century to refer to part of Britain, the northern part, eventually became the Kingdom of Scotland. Eventually, keyword. This historical shift is noted, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Latin usage in Ireland, with Ireland sometimes distinguished as Scotia Major and Scotia Minor. Ireland was called Scotia Major, and Scotland, which eventually became Scotland, was Scotia Minor. These were the lands taken over by her and her people. This is the most prominent parts of Europe as well, family. When we say the sun never sets on the British Empire, this was the origins of the British Empire. Before it was them, it was us. So this is Irish Central
Indeed.
because some people, oh, y'all know that everything got to be black. I just y'all got to put black in it. I'm not putting black in everything, family. I'm not one of those people. If it's black, awesome. If it's not, who cares? But this is according to Irish Central, not blackpower.com. Everybody loves blackpeople.org. No, this is Irish Central. Article titled, How did Barbary apes wind up in Ireland 2,300 years ago? A Barbary ape? The bones of a baboon. Ain't no baboons in Ireland, family. Ain't no baboons in Ireland. Tia Taffy, I'm not going to go into her. But anyway, according to Dr. Sean Somebody of the Trinity College, carbon dating showed that the remains of a 15-year-old boy at the Mound of Hostages near Tara, coming from this girl, were roughly 3,800 years ago. A necklace found on a skeleton made of faience beads and matched similar Egyptian manufacture and design. They found the remains of a little boy, and he was wearing this. Doc, does this look Scottish to you, Irish, or
Yeah,
this look African to me?
that looks African to me too. Matter of fact, it looks South African.
You better teach.
That is actually one of the necklaces in which that I've seen many South Africans wear during their tribal dance of the Khoisan and the Bantu.
What is this doing in Ireland? 3,000, damn near 4,000 years ago? Okay. During the 14th.
Remember, 3,000. They already stated that 3,000 years ago is when the Europeans turned to what they look like now, which was pale skin, blue eyes, and blonde hair. Prior to that, everyone in Europe or Asia Minor were dark-skinned.
Teach. Why did he call it Asia Minor, family? the doctor keep hitting. During the 1440s, a Scottish chronicler, Walter Bower, sought to trace the history of the Scottish people from the earliest times. The result of his endeavor was the creation of a compendium of Scottish history, the Scotichronicon. Perhaps one of the most astonishing claims made by Bower in his Scotichronicon is that the Scottish people were actually descendants of the ancient Egyptians. Family, this is not BobbyHammett.com.
Right.
This is a regular white dude. This is it. And could trace their ancestry to the daughter of an Egyptian pharaoh, Scotia. According to AI, yes, Walter Bower's Scotichronicon does include a legend where the Scots are descended from an Egyptian princess named Skoda. Y'all gonna have to deal with this, family. Where do you think we from? We from Africa? Oh, we from America. Family, we from everywhere. Now what?
Exactly.
She establishes Celtic Iberia, Portugal, and Galicia to be exact. So they they these people with these big heads and fire red hair, they get kicked out of Africa. They get kicked out of Egypt for monotheism. Everybody knows Akhenaten creates monotheism. Hey guys, there's only one God. Because Egypt, they had like 1,000 gods, or a bunch of them. Isis, Ra, Set, Heru, Nu, Atum. It's just so many of them. You know, it's a lot. So Akhenaten comes and he says, "Hey, no more Ma'at, bro. We love Ma'at. What are you talking about, family? Press 111 if on some level you have some type of respect for Ma'at. You like Ma'at. You love Ma'at. You appreciate Ma'at. You understand Ma'at. You know what? Don't worry. I'm gonna lead my own parade. Can I pat myself on the back? I'll press the
Do that.
111
Do that.
myself. Right. Old boy come through and say no more Ma'at. Nah, bro. Come on. Nah, you tripping. So everybody gets mad at him. And they said,
Right.
hey, you got to leave because people, they take their religious, you ain't going to go tell grandma no more Jesus. That's what you're not going to do.
Exactly.
Go back and watch Good Times where, not JJ, the youngest boy had an argument with, Michael had an argument with Florida about that white Jesus picture.
His mama. Damn.
Right. So Akhenaten gonna get rid of the gods. So you know the black people get mad.
Right.
They kick them out for that. You know, you violated. But you have to understand when we talk about Akhenaten creating the monotheism, this is where the whole Hebrew situation comes from, family. The Hebrews are scattered all over the earth. So when people say, oh, the Jews got kicked out of all these countries, family, when we talk about these people getting kicked out of these countries, stop thinking white people, start thinking you. You got kicked out of these countries. They go to Spain and they had problems there. They had to leave. They went to Ireland. They had problems there. They had to leave to go to Scotland. They had problems there. They had to leave. Remember, at the end of the story, the black nobility gets kicked out. Y'all be so quick to say Jewish people getting kicked out. You are the Jews getting kicked out of these countries. Stop blaming white people for everything. Anyway, she establishes Celtic Iberia, Portugal, and Galatia to be exact. So this is Galatia, because her husband's name was Galacia or something like that, which the C, the K, and the G are all interchangeable. That's here. Let me just write this down really quickly, doctor. C, comma, K, comma, G. The C, the K, and the G are all interchangeable. That's why when you have, look at the C and the K. That's why you have words like dragon, Dragon. That's dragon. Let's replace that C. I'm sorry, excuse me. Let's replace that G with a C. Dracon. Dracon. Y'all heard of the Dracos, right? Or the Draconians, because the C, the K, and the G are all interchangeable. That's why when you have words like Necronomicon, that's actually Negronomicon.
Exactly.
I never heard nobody say nothing like this until I tapped in with Brother Panic, Bobby Hemmett, and Dr. Alim El-Bey. These are the three leaders of the dark side. Stop dealing with the Necronomicon and start addressing it by its real name. That's the Negronomicon. Come on over here to the dark side with the doctor and me. Come on over here to the doctor. To the doctor. I'm just picking with y'all, family. Ain't nothing wrong with the dark side melanin or anything like that. Look, I'm sorry, doctor.
Oh,
I've said a lot. Please.
ain't got nothing to say, God.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna do an Ice Cube number. Yay, yay!
That's right. So after she leaves Spain, which at that time there was no such thing as Spain, it's called Iberia. After she leaves Iberia, she goes to Ireland, which is right down the street from Spain. And I just show my little Google Map situation because maybe people, well, not people, me, I didn't realize how close Ireland was to Spain. It's just, I didn't know. Anyway, um, so yeah, it's right down the street from Spain. She's one of the first melanated people in the Northern Hemisphere. They never seen nobody like that before. Not only have they never seen nobody like her, they never seen nobody with a big head like that. They never seen nobody with red hair before. This is a royal bloodline with royal genetics. Why is the doctor going through haplogroups? Because this is a royal bloodline. You're going to have to follow these bloodlines, family. You're going to have to, with all due respect. All right, but anyway, it says this is not up for debate. Everyone knows that Black people were in Ireland first. Well, let's talk about the Irish Times. Family, this is not dralimlbay.com. You can go there. I suggest you go. Go to dralimlbay.com. But in this case, this is the Irish Times. The Irish Times says early Irish people were dark skinned with blue eyes. That's what they say.
Right.
I assume this is white people.
And I believe that you presume correct.
This is another source, the Irish Post. It reads, ancient Irish people were Black with blue eyes. New documentary suggests. One more just for good measure, Doctor. And I know at this point I'm being a dead horse. But
It's all right.
new,
Beat it.
thank you.
Just beat it.
This is new. Yeah, we're going to beat this horse to death. We're going to resurrect it on the third day. I'm just messing. This is News One. It says Ireland's earliest inhabitants were Black people with blue eyes. This is, and Remesu's in the comments going crazy. He says Cheddar Man, Grimaldi Man. A lot of this stuff, Dr. Aleem has been teaching this stuff for years, family. I'm just coming up here and I'm kind of just echoing him. Somebody's gonna have to pass the baton. I'm sorry, excuse me. Somebody's gonna have to pick up the baton. Somebody's gonna have to see what the doctor was saying years ago and come finally echo it. Hey guys, go back and watch the old Dr. Aleem videos where he was telling you guys, and I'm that guy. I'm here to kind of just echo the sentiment. So I made a video, Jamaicans, the Black nobility exiled from Ireland. So I won't go into the whole story of that part. But yeah, after the Moors got into the whole war and what the war was about, who was in the war, the dates and all that stuff is in this video, a little 20-minute edited situation, really cute. But anyway, according to Skynet, the claim that Stuart means Black is partially true in historical and etymological context, but it's more accurate to say it relates to the term swarthy, which is associated with a dark complexion. Doctor, did you want to tap in?
No, that's it. Exactly. That's from my research as well.
We have to understand the language changes. Even now, when I was a kid, nobody said no cap. With all due respect, and I know no cap is kind of like slang, but it just represents the language changing over time. Family back then, nobody called, oh, you Black. How come when I research Black, you're not going to research Black nothing and find anything? Because nobody used those words at that time. Just like, yeah, Crumb, I looked up to see if so-and-so was capping. You're not, you're going to have to look if they were lying. You can't type capping.
Right.
Words like cap now, hey, Crumb, you're being silly. Well, the word Black is on that level. When you use words like that, I'm not judging anybody, but it just comes off a little bit silly. I think that's a fair statement in terms of research. So it says, yeah, with a dark complexion, including a complexion of some members of the Stuart family. The people in Europe at the time were dark skinned. This is the royal nobility that's ruling Europe, the black nobility, whatever you want to call them. They're ruling Europe. And you're not going to find quote unquote black nobility, but swarthy bloodlines, you'll definitely find swarthy. Here's a more
And
nuanced
King
explanation.
James, and King James was King James Stewart. So he was from this same bloodline. And this is why passages such as Judah being dark as the ground, black as unto the ground, was kept within there. This is why Solomon said he was black as the tents of Kedar. This is the reason why Jesus has hair of wool and feet as if it was burnt in the furnace and eyes red as fire. It's because they are giving you examples of this dark complexion. And the Bible verses still speaks of those. And you would know that if that Bible was Tamahuanized, you would know that those passages would not be there to this very day, especially not in the King James Version, if he was not melanated. So he was swarthy, a dark complexion, for his name was King James Stewart.
Family, these stories are your stories, not his stories. If you're going to tell the story, we're going to have to tell the whole story, family, respectfully. And that's all the doctor and I are trying to do is just to fill in those gaps. The name Stewart originates from the High Steward of Scotland, and it's sometimes linked to the term swarthy, which meant a dark or blackish complexion in Old English. The name Stuart associated with King Charles II of England, who was nicknamed Black Boy by some. Some people called him Black Boy, referring to his dark hair and his skin. However, it's important to note that black in this context doesn't necessarily imply racial identity, because at that time, there was no such thing as people being black. There is no black gene. That's a racial identity. You have the right to identify. If you want to identify as black, that's on you. I'm not saying anything about it. But we just have to, put these things in context, as all the doctor and I are saying, as far as I understand. But yeah, this is our King Charles. And even though obviously there weren't cameras or nothing back then, you can see where, he might got a little black in him, a lot of black in him, actually. There was a movie called Spaceballs. It's a little bit on the goofy side, so you may not have seen it, Doctor. Did you see Spaceballs, Doc?
Years ago, yeah.
Super old. Okay. The listening audience, if you have seen Spaceballs 222, if you have seen Spaceballs, if you have not 333, but if you have 222, so yeah, let me hit 222. It's been forever ago, but yeah, I did see it. Pretty cool. In the movie Spaceballs, one of the sayings is because it's kind of like Star Wars. Instead of "May the Force be with you," in the movie they say "May the Swords be with you." Okay, nice, nice little thing there, trying to put it out there,
Yeah.
swarthy.
And I'm pretty sure that Mel Brooks is the one who did that, being a juicy.
You better teach.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already know.
Yeah.
But back to that king. They still have like a lot of stuff around town alluding to him, the king, because people loved him. He was like a loved king. He wasn't hated. He wasn't a bad person. He was like, they really loved him. He was a loved king. So you're going to see here, ye old black boy is But yeah, so yeah, ye old black boy, and somebody in the comments, and I don't want to say somebody. This is actually a moderator. Put some respect on his name, family. Uh, Doc, can you still hear me? Okay, my thing is tweaking.
Yes, I can hear you.
No, no, I'm sorry. It's actually Re- Remesu. Remesu says Schwarzenegger.
Right.
Doctor, what do you think about the name Schwarzenegger? Is that almost like swarthy N word?
Right. Swarthy. Right. Right. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. So we know the bloodline in which that he comes from. It's in his surname. So yeah, definitely.
Schwarzenegger.
Right. And being of course Austrian, you know, that's close to Germany there, right underneath Germany. And so, all of that at one time was part of the black nobility family bloodline. So makes sense.
Uh, and Doctor, the family in the comments is going crazy. Justin says, I looked up the description of Attila the Hun. It said he was short and swarthy. Family, I never knew that one.
Swarthy.
I never Attila the Hun. Now, now that we bring Attila into the situation of being swarthy, not only were the Europeans
Mhm.
us that Crumb, are we from Africa or are we from America? Family, we from everywhere.
Everywhere. Even on planet North planet. We from everywhere.
Right. So let's get into these gingers. They go into Europe with this red hair, which is a genome that has never been seen before, and they bring blue eyes in there because remember they're doing genetic experiments in Egypt. They create Akhenaten creates lepers. They don't call them white people at their time; they call them lepers. So the whole leper situation, ain't nobody trying to say that the juicies got kicked out. They kicked the lepers out. Nobody wants them around. Ew, get out of here, you're nasty. Because white skin was seen as a curse at that time. Anyway,
Right.
so now
Old
they're
Testament speaks
playing
to
with
that.
Amen Church. So now
Mhm.
you got this red hair and his blue eyes coming out of Africa or coming out of Egypt rather, and they go into Europe and they create these gingers. They create gingers. Ginger is an anagram for the N word. With all due respect, ginger is an anagram. There was a movie called Six Tuplets, and one of the six tuplets, these are black people. One of the six tuplets was a ginger, and they called him Ninja. I think it was the Wayans brothers. They so funny, the Wayans kids.
Right.
But yeah, these redheads, they come from. They were created genetically by Queen Scotia in an unnatural way that is similar to a Yakub breeding program. There were several times when Y people were created or grafted. One of the last times was in Ireland, where a group of people called gingers were created by a big head scientist named Scotia. She creates these gingers. Nobody knows where they come from, and they're bad as hell, according to white people. White people never saw another white person with red hair, and when white people saw them, they went crazy. Don't make me beat you like a redhead stepchild. Why are we beating these redhead children, and why are they stepchildren with no parents? Why are we beating these redheads? And how come the redheads have no parents? Well, I'm going to theorize that they were genetically created just like the lepers were, just like the grafted white people were in the Yakub narrative. So now you're going to have these redheads who were created in mass numbers out of nowhere, and they were used as weapons of war against regular YT people. Go back and watch the movie Parent Trap. All of it. The redhead stepkids. A pair of twins who have been separated at birth and upon meeting by chance at summer camp decide to work together to reunite their divorced parents. The Parent Trap is a remake of a legacy sequel from 1961 film of the same name and an adaptation, the German children's novel Lisa and Lodi. They have an evil stepmother. There's a white person that don't like these little redheads, and their paternity is questionable, and white people are giving them hell. Go back and watch Rugrats. One of the worst characters was Chucky. Chucky had all types of problems, self-esteem issue. Chucky might have been on the spectrum. Go back and watch Cinderella, all of it. The evil stepsisters, one of them. How come they keep depicting redheads as bad? Because redheads were created by black people to fight white people. And they were called Jacobites. And after the Jacobite army fought for damn near 2 decades defending black people, the Stuart dynasty, we're going to mark you in history as the worst people on earth. Remember, gingers have no soul, according to white people. South Park did an episode called Gingers Have No Soul. Doctor, with all due respect, I assume you did not see the movie Frozen.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. But you gonna make me go see it though.
Press 444 if you did not see the movie Frozen. Press 555 if you did. I'm going to press 555 because I got kids around. That's my excuse. I'm pressing 555 because my excuse is these kids. But under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have watched it.
No.
If you go and watch Frozen, why is the bad guy a ginger? In the movie Frozen, never forget the bad guy is a ginger. Doc, you're making me thirsty. Where's my water? This what you're not going to do around. You're not going to hydrate around me while I'm thirsty. That's what we're not going to do. In the listening audience, let's go swig for swig. Ashay. Okay, wow. Yeah, that felt good. Moving on. Go back and watch Spider-Man. In the cartoon Spider-Man, number one, first and foremost, Venom was about melanin. Venom, his name is Venom. Venom was a suit. It was a white dude who had black skin on him, and the black skin gave him a superpower. I don't want to talk about that tonight, Doctor. I don't want to talk about that tonight. One day we're going to talk about the Venom from Spider-Man, and we're going to talk about how the Venom was melanin, but not tonight. Anyway, after Venom, the supposed black character from Spider-Man, he has this clone, and the clone is called Carnage. It's like a subsidiary of Venom. And Carnage is like bat-ish crazy. He's like, Venom at least has some type of coherency. Carnage is just chaos embodied.
Right.
And Stray Panther. Oh wow, that's a dope name. Stray Panther 79 says, yeah, his name is Cassidy. Correct. So Cassidy, who becomes Carnage, is a ginger. He's the most crazy character in the Spider-Man universe. Now this is over in Europe. This is the Europe version of Little Orphan Annie. It's called Annie of Green Gables. That's right. She's a redhead. She's an orphan. Why do these redheads not have parents? I don't know. Every time I turn around, They keep showing me pictures of redheads who have no parents. Where are
Well,
all these redhead children coming from?
well, like you say, Scotia created them, so they have no parents in that regard.
There was a breeding
Yep.
program.
Pippi Longstocking.
Pippi Longstocking was an orphan and she was bad as hell. I mean, like,
Hmm.
she wasn't like a bad guy per se or bad character, but she was mischievous, maybe. I don't know how to describe her.
Definitely.
Mis- okay, fair enough. Yeah. And they said she had like some type of superhuman powers or something like that.
Right.
Doctor, I really hate to beat this horse, but how come these redheads don't have parents?
Like you said, because they was made in a laboratory, so that makes them stepchildren.
Uh, good doctor, do you know who this character is?
Peter Pan.
This is Peter Pan. That's why. And Peter, I don't want to say maybe he's a bad guy, but again, maybe he's mischievous.
Hmm.
Like he technically steals kids. If
Right.
if we want to be, literal.
Exactly.
Go back and watch the movie. Well, okay, I'm sorry. Let me back up. Do you recognize this one?
The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame. He was an orphan,
Hmm.
a redhead orphan who was bad in some type of way. This is Cletus Spuckler. He's the local Cretan, which is the original word for Christian. He's the local Cretan in the Simpsons universe. I know you're familiar with the cartoon Simpsons, right?
Oh yeah.
Well, the thing about Cletus is Cletus has a bunch of kids, but the problem is he only has one wife and all the kids are hers. And as you can see, all the kids are in the same age group. Eh, There's at least six of those kids who are 6 years old. At least I can see 6 years olds, 4, 5, 6 4 year olds. It's probably like a bunch of 9 year olds in there, definitely. And she can only be pregnant one time. My question, and if all these kids got the same mama and the same daddy, which the same daddy, no problem. But if they all got the same mama, how could she carry them if she has to carry them 9 months at a time? How can you have 6 years olds and you got to carry each one 9 months at a time and they're not twins, triplets, or nothing like that? That's what were the Simpsons trying to tell us? You can't get, and remember, he's a ginger. You can't get this many children without it being some type of breeding program, without it being some type of incubator babies, without it being some type of Cabbage Patch Kids. She couldn't have had all these children naturally. What was the Simpsons trying to tell us? She couldn't have had all those children naturally. So this is Brandine Sputler, the mother of all those. It says single mother, 19 kids. Bitch, how she said the Simpsons report that she has 19 children. How? It has to be a breeding program. The Simpsons tried to tell you little orphan Annie and why was Raggedy Ann raggedy? Raggedy? Why are we calling her raggedy? White people don't like gingers. I'm not the smartest man in the world. Go back and watch Al Bundy Peggy Bundy was the bad guy, and she had red hair. I know I'm not the only person who's catching this. According to Deadline, Momo, Alexa Goodall, stars as orphan girl in adaptation of fantasy novel something. Why Momo got red hair and she's an orphan? Every time I turn around, these redheads are bad, they're dirty, they don't got no parents. Why? Why are they always depicted like that? Could it be because of the Jacobites in Ireland?
Exactly.
And they always show the redheads. They're dirty, they got no parents, and they show them as evil.
They go to other Chucky.
Now, remember, black people don't call the movie Child's Play. We call it Chucky.
That's right.
I don't know one black person who calls it Child's Play.
Not one. Not one. I never met him.
We all call it Chucky.
That damn dog that went around killing people.
Right. Never forget, Chucky was a ginger. I'm not the smartest man in the world, but they always depict gingers as bad. Doctor, when growing up, do you remember that every Christmas we used to watch this TV show called it was like a movie, but it was like a Christmas special called A Christmas Story. When I was growing up, I watched it every year. You said you watched it?
Yeah, I believe I did. Yeah.
Yeah, the little boy, I think he had put his tongue on a pole. He shot his eye out with a pellet gun.
Yeah, yeah.
His daddy had a lamp that was a leg or whatever. But yeah, A Christmas Story. We watched it every single year for maybe 10, 20 years. Every single Christmas we watched that movie. And I didn't realize the bad guy in the movie was a ginger. It didn't connect with me. I was like, oh crap. Also, Little Rascals. In Little Rascals, the bully was a ginger. Is it me, or are they depicting gingers in a negative light?
Oh yeah.
And if you can think of anybody, I'm sorry, if you can think of any depictions, characters, lore, or anything where the bad guy has red hair, please don't hesitate, share. And the listening audience, please, and please and thank you as well. Any bad guys that you can think of that had red hair, chime in. This is a group conversation. This is not a monologue. It's a dialogue, family. So please, let's all add value.
Decalico said all the clowns have red hair.
Oh my God. Yes. Decalico is always right. Exactly. Now, good doctor, this was in my childhood and maybe my late childhood. I was probably a little bit too old to be watching this, but I watched it because it was the only thing on TV at the time.
Right.
It was called Recess. And in the TV show Recess, the boy, his name is Randall. He's a snitch. And I was so stupid as a kid, doctor. So freaking stupid. I didn't realize what they were trying to tell us with Randall. Randall has his hands a certain type of way, and he has his shoulders shrugged like the person in the top right-hand corner. Have you ever seen that person in the top right-hand corner before, doctor?
Yes, the Juicy.
The Juicy. The Juicy is a famous ginger. Vlad is a ginger Juicy. Vlad TV.
Vlad TV.
Yeah, Vlad from Vlad TV is a famous Juicy. If you go look at Vlad looks like this Juicy, they call him the Happy Merchant. To the listening audience, if you go and Google the Happy Merchant, that picture will come up. So now Randall from the cartoon Recess was a caricature of the Happy Merchant with red hair, and he was the hated character. In the cartoon Recess, he was the snitch. And a lot of times, the Juicies, they'll have their shoulders shrugged, and this is a Juicy. His name is Les Gold. He's an owner of a pawn shop. I think it's called Pawn Shop War, Pawn Shop Monster, or something on TV. He's one of the biggest pawn shop, and Juicies, they're big on being pawn shop people, but they all kind of sit like the Happy Merchant. Anyway, okay. I did put it in a PowerPoint. I forgot I did. But yeah, there you go. There's Vlad. He has the nose. He has the red hair. You can see him in the picture. He's kind of shrugged just a little bit. The back of his shirt need to straighten that ish out because of his hunch. But a lot of them have this ginger. He's a ginger bad guy in real life. Somebody in the comments, Remesu says Vlad is lame AF. He's a ginger. A lot of people don't like Vlad. Good doctor. What do you think about Vlad? Is he good or bad, or what say you?
Oh, culture vulture. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. What more can I say? Yeah, I mean, it's really that simple. Now, this is an old one, doctor. I know you were adult by the time this came out, but do you remember the cartoon, Doug?
Remember this? Yeah.
Did you notice that Roger has the same? Not only he's a ginger. Roger is a ginger. Why is the bad guy a ginger? I don't know, family. Every time I turn around, the bad guy is the family say they are remembering. Thank you, family. Yeah, family, listen. I'm not teaching nobody nothing. I'm not teaching nobody nothing. I'm just jogging your memory.
Right.
A good teacher can't tell you what to see. They can only show you where to look. So anyway, I never noticed Roger's nose. Look at Roger's nose. Look at Vlad's nose. Look at Lester's nose. Look at the Happy Merchant's nose. I don't knows. Who knows? I don't knows. You don't knows. Nobody knows. Who knows? But go back and watch Doug and look at the character Roger. Roger.
Hollywood knows.
Hollywood knows.
No.
Hollywood definitely knows.
Yeah.
What were they trying to tell us? What were they trying to tell us when we were children? But maybe when we were adults too. Good doctor, do you know where this character is? This is Mort Goldman. Do you know what TV show he's from?
Was that Family Guy?
He's from Family Guy.
Mm.
And I'm not going to say Mort is a bad guy, but Mort he's the butt of a lot of jokes. He's like a dweeb. He doesn't have any redeeming characteristics. Let's say that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very so much a juicy. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm such a juicy, and that's my impression of Mort. But and Mort is short for Mordecai. For anybody who may want to know, that's not his full name. It's Mordecai, which is a very juicy name. But going back to the cartoon Recess, not only did they have this little boy from the cartoon Recess, Randall, they also had this dude. Now he's kind of a ginger. I would say he might be borderline Auburn, so I might be reaching with this one. Please forgive me. But doctor, I know you remember the cartoon Sword in the Stone. I know you remember that one now.
I don't think I ever watched it though.
Oh, okay. Family, listening audience, 777 if you saw the sword in the stone, 666 if you did not. 777 if you did see the sword in the stone. 666 Crumb, I did not see that. No, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. Family, Sword in the Stone was one of my favorites growing up. I loved it. Not even to do that one. Hated it from the In Living Color,
You live
but
in color.
right, hated it, loved it. But no, seriously, I loved Sword in the Stone as a kid, and I was so blind as a child. You could have showed me the world, and I would have just the gingers were the bad guys in Sword in the Stone. Shout out to all my 80s babies. The gingers were bad guys, and how did I miss that? Got to be more careful. Family, I'm just trying to figure out what were they trying to tell us when we were kids? Why children? Anyway, so Doctor, I know you seen this one.
Yes, I seen
Okay.
this.
This, this was a classic. Now, this might be another Auburn situation. I don't know, but I'm kind of thinking the boy's like kind of a ginger, so to speak. But in the movie Toy Story, that little boy who was bad, I think he might have been a ginger. The the bad guy from Toy Story, he was kind of like in a subplot. He wasn't the main character or nothing, but he had red hair, and I think he probably needed a spanking. But in the movie Toy Story, they depicted a ginger in bad light, or maybe he's Auburn. Billy Madison?
Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah, yeah, close enough. Yeah, in fact, there was a cartoon. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. There was a TV show. I forgot the guy's name in this TV show. I forgot his name, but there's a movie. There's a movie called Billy Madison where I can't. Doc, do you know this guy's name? I can't remember
Yeah,
his
Adam
name.
Sandler. Adam
Adam
Sandler.
Sandler. Adam Sandler. Dag nabbit. How
Hmm.
did I forget that one? In the
Ain't
in
nothing
the
cheap.
right. Oh wait. You've seen this movie?
Yes.
Okay. So he goes to school. When he goes to school, he gets bullied by O'Doul. And O'Doul in the TV show, the movie Billy Madison, he's a ginger, he's a bully, and all he says the whole movie, O'Doul rules. And he's a bully. He has red hair, and he's picking on him, and he keeps saying throughout the movie, O'Doul rules. And I think he poured like cereal on his head or something, but he was a ginger and he was a bully. Yeah, Stray Panther, O'Doul, Mick O'Doul rules or whatever. Yeah, Doctor. Now we got to have a serious conversation.
Hmm.
If you did not see Norbit, I'm getting with the live Doctor.
Yo, I seen Norbit.
Oh, you scared me for a second.
No, I seen it. I seen it.
Listening audience, if you saw Norbit, press 999. If you did not see Norbit, I don't want to know. Let's just keep it secret. If you did see Norbit, 999. In the
Oh,
movie Norbit, the red twin bullies are characters in Norbit. They're twin bullies who stomped on a young Norbit's sandcastle in the playground and attacked him until a young Rasputia saved Norbit from the bullies back in 1977.
right.
Family, Rasputia is one of the most memorable characters of all time. Rasputia was a star, and Rasputia had to get rid of the bullies, and they were gingers. Never forget. And this is Rasputia, and she's beating up the gingers. Is it me, or is Hollywood trying to tell us something? Is it? Am I reaching, or are they trying to tell us something? Maybe I don't know. All right, doctor. I'm going to test you, doctor. This is where the student becomes the teacher. This is where the student becomes the teacher.
Everybody hates Chris.
Okay. Tell me
Yes.
why in the smash hit cult classic TV show, everybody hates Chris. His bully, the bad guy. Well, I'm not going to say the bad guy. He didn't have too many redeeming characteristics. Let's say that. And in the movie was a ginger. Back then, I didn't pay attention to it. I don't know. I didn't. Caruso was his name. Thank you, Queen. Thank you, Queen. His name was Caruso. Lord knows I couldn't remember. But yes, his name was Caruso.
Me neither.
Chris has a horrible first day of school, and there he is, Caruso, the ginger. Yeah, this is just weird to me how they do this stuff. Now, doctor, I'm gonna give you a pass on this one. This is a chick flick. This is all the guys in the listening audience. You get a pass on this one. This is on Netflix. In the Netflix series, Sirens, the main character, she's kind of like a bad, dark character. Maybe she's not a bad guy, but she's a dark character, and she's a ginger. Remesu said, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, doctor. I never seen this ever in my life. I was doing this video the first time, and a girl tapped in, and she was like, "Hey, I see you guys showing all these guy shows, but apparently nobody's watching the girl shows." And she says, "Go look this up." I looked it up, and I had, and that's why I'm telling the people in the audience, family,
Right.
please tell me the bad guy or the character that had no redeeming characteristics, who had red hair, from whatever TV show you've seen, cartoon, game, whatever the case may be. According to history, the Jacobites were an army of redheads who fought to defend the royal bloodline of so-called black people. After they did that, they became cannon fodder for a media. I'm sorry, not cannon fodder. They became the butt of a media smear campaign. Till this day, there is a media smear campaign on gingers, and it goes back to the it goes back to what, doctor? It goes back to the Jacobite Rising, where the Jacobites, a group of redheads, fight for Moors, black people who ruled Europe under the name the Black Nobility. This is a hard one because when we were kids, it was in black and white. Good doctor. Without reading anything, please don't cheat. Can you tell me who this is?
Yeah, that's Opie.
It's good, brother Opie. So somebody, when I first did this video, they said Opie was a bad guy. I said, BS, bro. I grew up on Andy Griffith show. Opie was a good guy. They said Google it. I said, okay. So some people may say something, and then I might disagree with you because I might not know. What, did I do that? But anyway, yes, Opie Taylor from the Andy Griffith show could be mischievous. While known for his innocence and I knew Opie for being good, but apparently I was too young. I was just, there was nothing else on TV, doctor. You gotta understand me. We were kids. Grandma had 3 channels.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't.
Yep, that was it. 3 channels.
That's 3 channels.
That was it. You grew up. I forgot you grew up in Virginia. I'm in North Carolina, so be right there. And yeah, mm-hmm.
That's it,
3 channels.
doctor. And not only did we have 3 channels, do you know what the remote control looked like back then?
Yeah, it was me.
These these kids don't never know.
Mm-mm.
So it says, example of OP's mischievous behavior: selling miracle salve to the citizens of Mayberry. Why was Opie out this bitch scamming, selling a fake medical drug? I didn't realize Opie was so bad.
Me neither.
Opie was in Mayberry scamming? Next one. Concealing an abandoned baby in his clubhouse. Child trafficking?
Mm.
Doctor, I was young. I didn't understand.
I don't remember none of that. Damn.
Last one, then we'll move on. Starting his own tell all gossip community newspaper. Smut peddling? He was smut peddling gossip? I didn't really. I was young. I don't know, doc. I just completely missed it. These
Yeah.
these redheads. Here's a classic, doctor. Uh Roger, who framed Roger Rabbit? In the beginning, never
Right.
forget the very first suspect. Well, okay, and this is real life. In real life, if a person is unalived, the first suspect is the spouse. If something bad happens to a person who's in a relationship, the first suspect is their partner. In the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the first suspect was Jessica Rabbit. And Jessica, thank you, Journey. Journey knows the first suspect was Jessica Rabbit, and her most popular, her most iconic lines from the movie was, "I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way." They drew her as a redhead.
Right.
What is going on with Hollywood's depiction of gingers? I know it's not just me.
No.
Uh, oh yeah, old boy was a ginger too. I'm just real. I don't. Maybe that's why I put this in here. I don't know. But Roger Rabbit himself was a ginger, and he was a goofy. Doctor, you want to talk about this with me?
Ain't nothing to talk about.
Ain't nothing to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny
Y'all
Depp,
don't know. Check it out. Alice in Wonderland.
a good teacher can't tell you what to see, only where to look. I like Johnny Depp as an actor. I really
Right?
enjoy Johnny Depp's movies.
Excuse me.
I I didn't like the whole musical situation with Sweeney or whatever he did, but outside of those musicals, I really liked the Johnny Depp movies. And Alice in Wonderland, by itself, without Johnny Depp, Alice in Wonderland is a cult classic. And the whole Wonderland situation already lets you know that, hey guys, we're going to go down a rabbit hole, so to speak. The movie
Mhm.
of Alice in Wonderland is going down a rabbit hole. If we go down a rabbit hole in the new Johnny Depp version of what with Disney, Alice in Wonderland, the bad guy was the big head sign. I'm sorry, the big head queen,
Right.
the big head ginger queen. Um, Doctor, Um, is the live still on? If the live is still going, can you drop your favorite emoji? I don't know if the live is over or not. The doctor's gone. I think the live is off. If the live is still going, drop your favorite emoji. I don't. Are we still here? It's no. Oh, here we go. Sunflower. I see a sunflower. Oh, peace sign. Okay, we apparently we're still here. We on Ramesu. Okay, we still here. Cool. Um, I'll text the doctor just to make sure he's okay. Um, oh, there
I'm
he
right
is.
here.
Okay. All right, just making sure. Okay, yeah. So in the Disney remake of Alice in Wonderland, the bad guy is um the the Queen of Hearts. That's her name. The Queen of Hearts. And the Queen of Hearts, not only is she a ginger, not only is she have a big head, obviously she's of a royal bloodline. Doctor, did you get a chance to see that movie? Well, no worries. Listening, yeah. Doctor, did you see Alice in Wonderland? Any of them?
Yes, I did back in the days.
Well, yeah, you seen them one, you seen them all. They're all the same. But in this particular one, it's just super interesting because she's a ginger, she has red hair. I just maybe it's just a coinky dink. Family, listen, sometimes I'm wrong. It wouldn't be the first time, right? But another Christmas special. Obviously, growing up, I was raised by the TV. And I'm joking. I was raised with a family, but I did probably watch a little bit too much TV because that's just what I like to do as a kid. And I had watched every Christmas special that came out. I watched it. I'm not gonna lie to nobody. I watched all the Christmas special. And listening audience, doctor, don't say anything, please. Listening audience, what movie is this character from? What Christmas special is this character from? This character on the screen. What Christmas special? Doctor, please don't answer. Let me. I just want the audience to answer. What Christmas special is this character from? Oh, throat getting a little dry. Sorry about that. Okay, well, it looks like it's going to take the family a little bit of time, but this character is from the cartoon. I think it was Rudolph.
Yep.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Reindeer.
Yeah, Queen got it right. Queen Candake. If I pronounce your name wrong, charge it to my mind, not my heart. Somebody said Frosty. I think the movie is Frosty. Keep me honest. Keep me all the way honest. I think it was called Frosty. but anyway, it was the cartoon from back in the day when we were kids, and
Right.
in the cartoon, the bad guy had red hair. I can't really remember it. It was so long ago, but
Right.
I do remember the bad guy did have red hair.
Somebody
I did
said his
not.
name's Grouch.
Oh, I think she was saying. I don't
I
think
don't
that's
know.
the Grouch though.
Right. I don't know.
I
But
think
I
the
definitely
Grouch is
seen it.
green. Yes, I seen it.
Yes, definitely seen it.
But for the Christmas special, I think the Grouch was green.
Yeah, the
And
Grouch.
when the doctor and I talk about green skin being green in general, because we're going to talk about it one day, we're going to talk about all the green characters. Go back and watch The Wizard of Oz. The Wicked Witch of the West was green, and she wasn't the bad guy. But we're not going to talk about the green skin tonight, family. But nonetheless, but hey, listen, Doc, it's actually been an hour and a half. I think that's my time.
Yes.
I don't want to. I don't want to abuse
Okay.
the platform.
All right. All right. Well, any closing statements? Anything you want to say before we go?
Rose was bad. Elmira from Tiny Toons was bad. Yosemite Sam was bad. The dude from Sonic was bad. That girl from the Rescuers, I can't remember her name. Penny from Rescuers, she was an orphan. That's another layer of it. The dude from Incredibles, can't forget him. Yakub, the Megamind was the Yakub story, and the bad guy was a ginger. Of course, the Glinda, the white witch, was a ginger.
Right.
She was actually bad.
Right.
Annabelle, the Annabelle doll, definitely bad. Dexter, bad. The clowns, D. Calico said clowns earlier. The Problem Child, I remember Problem Child. He was definitely bad. Clowns, McDonald's is bad family. Yeah. Even we're gonna have to talk about it. We definitely have to talk about it. The girl from Batman, Ivy. Finding Nemo. Shout out to Nemo. We found him. He's dead. That little redhead killed him. So there you have it. There you found it. Shrek, the movie Shrek, the bad guy. Yeah, there you go. X-Men, Mysterious. Mystique. That's it. Mystique. Gargoyles, Demona. Demona she was hell. Dragon Ball. Just pick one. There's a lot of them. Fairly Odd Parents. That girl was such a Vicky. That's her name. Yeah. The dude from Bummer. Yeah, dude, totally. I can't remember. And all the redheads, they not all of them, but a lot of them wear green. And I've got over 100 slides. I didn't even get into half of it. Family, listen, I am your humble brother Crumb. I am the master student. And you see this right here? That's the master teacher. Subscribe, family. You're going to have to smash that subscribe button to keep up with this whole situation. So much information coming through the pipeline. Smash that like button. Also, I wanted to brag. I think I'm actually in your book, Doctor. Am I in your new book?
Yeah, definitely. In several pages. Yep. You're in the introduction as far as, I guess you can say putting everybody for a dedication. You're there for certain slides. Pictures in which that we've utilized, so yeah, definitely.
And if I could brag on the book just a little bit more, can you tell me the name of the book and where we can find it at again?
Yeah, Planetary Genesis, Stargate DNA, and the Human Extraterrestrial Origin, which is on www.dralimel-bey.com.
Family, I am on Dr. Alim El-Bey. In the beginning of the book, he pays me respect, family. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. See it for yourself, family. Don't believe a word I say. Do your own research. Good doctor. I am your humble student. I am a humble student of the doctor. I am a humble student of life. And I'm in no hurry to graduate. Doctor, thank you again. And to the family, I'm on Crumb TV on YouTube. Tap all the way in. Thank you.
Exactly. And y'all know about Crumb TV. Get your behinds over there and also subscribe. All right, we out, y'all. Peace.